We're recording.
I'm ready.
We're back.
I'm ready.
I feel like it's not where we're back. It's another episode.
Yeah,
we're
but
here.
every week we're back. We're here. We're there. We're everywhere.
Everywhere.
We're omnipresent.
Hopefully, yes. Guys, I'm Jenna.
And I'm Annitsa, and this is Two Blank Girls.
Woo-hoo!
Episode 24.
Shit.
Woo!
We got a lot to talk about because we've had a week off, so I feel like
Yeah.
we should maybe not waste too much time.
Yeah, guys, we want to get into it because
Okay.
I know you missed us.
I missed
Obviously.
this.
Well,
oh,
yeah.
I've got wicked hot burn right now,
Wicked
guys.
wicked hot.
Wicked hot burn. I should start it. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
On the eve of December 12th, we are two spiritual girls. Okay.
Let's get the business done.
Yep.
Let me do it this time. I got
Okay,
it.
go.
Facebook, Two Blank Girls. Twitter, _girls. Instagram, Blank Girls Podcast. And our Patreon, where you can become a sponsor of sorts.
Yep.
You can get cool extra stuff. Just look up Two Blank Girls on patreon.com.
Because the holidays are here, whether you like it or not.
If you want to give a gift to yourself and to us.
Give a gift to your friend of
Be a
like
patron.
making them a patron.
Yeah.
That would be a really cool gift to like support a podcast like
Under
ours.
their name, yeah.
Under their name.
With your credit card.
And then they get a t-shirt.
Yes.
So what are you waiting for? I'm having brain farts and blocks.
What's
I don't know.
new?
I don't know. I think
I was
I
gonna
ate too
say-
much butter on my toast.
Yeah.
Like I just went,
Let me just...
I'm in space right now.
I want to tell you one thing before we get into the word and all of that jazz, because we didn't have an episode last week, so I didn't get to share this before. But after our last episode of Week, okay, I heard a story that made me really happy. So our friend and patron, Rita, he had a coworker who listened to our podcast because, he had posted about it or something. So
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I'm going to check this out. And she goes up to him afterwards and she's like, you can tell them that they lost a listener. They lost a listener. And
snap.
you want to know why? Because we referred to Trump followers as being weak.
Oh,
And I said I'm like, good. I was like, you think I want that bitch listening to our
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
she wasn't saying that we are like judging people. She's in fact
she's
a Trump
yeah.
supporter.
And I was like, sorry. I'm sorry if I offended you. You do not have to listen to us.
Shit.
But
I
that
don't even
made me-
remember saying
That
that.
actually made me laugh. And I was like, oh, that actually tickled me. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Well, you know what? You haven't really made it until someone like talks shit about
Is
you.
hating on you.
So
Exactly.
I mean, we're official now.
But I just thought that was so funny because I was like, she thought that would bother me or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's actually really
you
funny.
lost a supporter.
Yeah, you lost a listener. I'm like, well, we didn't really have you in the first place.
Yeah. So,
but
we're
also,
good.
you got to know that that's how we feel. So
Yeah.
some people are going to be turned off.
Exactly. You can't please everybody.
But I just thought that was funny. I was like, oh, we got burned.
Hater. Well, that's
Yeah,
whatever.
so that's that.
I really don't care.
But I just wanted to share that with you.
Shit.
It was pretty funny.
We're
Well, but
very
also
edgy.
Edgitive.
Fuck.
Edgy.
We're very edgy and provocative. Those are the
Well,
two
I
words
d-
I
I
was
d-
trying to say.
I told you because what I did share with you was that somebody had said to me, they reached out and said that it made them miss their best friend listening to us, and I thought that was the sweetest thing
That
ever.
is
So
very
that was
kind.
a really positive comment after our last episode. Somebody listening to us missed their best friend, and I thought that was good. But then on
we
the
had
other
this
hand, we
chick
had
fucking
the Trump lover who
trying
said
to
she
come
never
in.
wants to listen to us again.
whatever. Good riddance.
Bye.
Well, again, yeah, we're like famous now.
We're so famous.
We're like so edgy.
because one person hates us.
us.
Well, actually, probably more than one
I'm
person.
sure there's
I-
a lot of people who do not like us.
Yeah, and whoever gave us 1 star on
Shit, that's right.
I want to know. I would
Fuck
love
it.
to just know because I'm that type of person who would love to troll for reviews that are really bad and like because we used to do that at work. It was
Yeah.
always funny to like read the bad reviews. I just want people to leave reviews of any kind, like whether they love us or hate us. It would
Yeah.
be awesome to hear feedback either way. But I
Well,
think
yeah,
because
you want to know
funny.
like how we're doing
Yeah.
because you can't base it off anything but from people who listen.
Direct
we can't
feedback.
judge it.
Yeah.
We're like fucking idiots.
We do
and
it for
don't
fun,
know.
and it's just
Yeah.
interesting to hear. But I just love to hear haters talk because it just makes me laugh.
Well, it's also because like we're nobody.
Yeah,
we're
and
like,
it just doesn't.
Bitch, you just wasted a lot of breath talking about us because nobody.
Nobody
cares about us.
Nobody cares. Oh God, but it's funny.
Well, okay, good to know.
Moving on.
Yep.
So
spiritual.
Okay, you picked this week. And I know you had mentioned this before, but I thought it was interesting that right away. Usually we're like, I don't know, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
But this week you were like, spiritual.
It stood out to me
right
because it's something I know that you and I definitely have like strong feelings about, or maybe are like spirituality. That's hard to say. Did that sound weird? It sounded weird. Spirituality. Yeah. It just like, it's a, well, first of all, tell me what it is because I get confused.
We got a whole
I asked
myriad.
Even during the texting, I was like, I don't get it.
Well, there's a whole myriad of definitions, and we kind of picked one that we liked the best. Although
one that
always,
works for us.
Well, I always go with Merriam-Webster. It's just the classic, and so that's the one I posted, which is very vague, of relating to, consisting of, or affecting the spirit incorporeal, which means like not of body, not of material.
Okay.
It's like not of the
New
body.
word I just learned.
Incorporeal. But this is the one that we really liked. This was just when you type it into Google, it's like the first thing that comes up, and it's relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. That's just another way of saying what I just said before.
Well, spiritual to me means, this is what I think. Okay. It's probably not right, but this is how I feel about when I thought of the word spiritual, is that I am not a religious person in the sense of like God and like the Bible and Jesus. We're
going to offend we're not going to have any listeners after this.
You just lost more listeners, but I am a very spiritual person. That's how I see.
How so though?
In the sense that I do believe there is a higher power, a like mystical feeling, a like in your gut, like in the in the sense that like I think Mother Nature, and nature is spiritual because it is it's alive. We can't. Oh, what is my thinking?
You need to get real deep in this.
Touch it, but you can feel. Yes,
well,
you can touch nature, but you know what I mean. But you can. It's a feeling.
Your
it's
connection
like
to
a connection. It's there's nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how I feel about it.
I got to say this to you before we get all into this, because this is the other thing that made me laugh. And I wrote down that I was talking to Sam this morning, because Sam's a huge fan of the podcast and also a patron. Shout out, Sam Sprincenetic. And he's really into spirituality, especially after his near-death experience. But he said to me, and he was a little zooted this morning.
Okay, got it.
And he was like, you know what? He's like, I'm so excited for this episode. He goes, but I told Medora, he's like, I told her this is how it's going to go. Annitsa's going to talk about how spiritual she's been feeling, and Jenna's going to be like, I ain't got nothing. Like, I'm not spiritual at all. Jenna's going to be like, I don't know. I don't feel it at all. I don't know. So, and I said, oh, interesting, because I kind of feel like it's the opposite way almost.
Yeah.
But I thought that was funny because he saw you as being not at all spiritual, and he saw me as being more spiritual.
I think he probably sees that because you're a very you feel things a lot, and you're very vocal about you're very like romantic and like whimsical, and so to me that feels like you'd be
I wish people
open.
could see your hand gestures right now. She's like just swaying around.
Feeling, but yeah, like you're more open to that. I am just a pile of crap, so I'm like, I don't know, like I don't. But I think I'm a pretty like I said, I don't think necessarily. Oh God, I know my like mom and my stepdad. I mean,
listen,
I literally would say stepmom and dad. They're very very religious people, and that's great. Well, that's their thing.
I want to clarify the difference because they're not necessarily the same thing. However, they can be related. Okay, it's like a Zen diagram, not Zen, Venn. I'm thinking of spiritual. I'm like, we're so Zen right now. No, but the whole thing is here. God, I had all this just ready to go, and now I don't have it. Okay. People often confuse spirituality with religion, and being a spiritual person is really just synonymous with being a person whose highest priority is to be loving to yourself and others. A spiritual person cares about people, animals, the planet.
Yeah.
And as opposed to religious, so again, essentially the relationship between religion and spirituality is the commonality is belief, comfort.
It's a belief. Yes.
There's comfort. There's reflection. Ethics are involved, and awe, like an awe and awe and seeing something bigger than ourselves. But the difference, so spirituality is more, where do I find meaning? How do I feel connected? And how should I live? It's just asking a lot of questions. And religion is, what practices, rites, or rituals should I follow?
Yeah.
What is right and wrong? And what is true and false? They're seeking.
It's so black and white.
Yeah, that's kind of what that's what it is. It's about following a specific set of rules.
And spirituality is the gray.
Spirituality
it's
is finding for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm super spiritual then.
Yeah.
But when you said belief, that immediately, that's like the word. It's believing in something.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean, with religion, you believe in a very specific thing. But to me, spirituality is believing in this, like,
it's like it's yourself connected to something that you might not necessarily understand,
like energy and like, oh God, we sound like
well, dude,
been living in California.
I am like no, but like I was gonna tell you this, like I am the type of person that if I were to believe in anything, I would be that like super like crystals and like the earth and. Because I have a couple. I've always, when I was a kid, I collected rocks and crystals, and I put them in this little like coloring box that I kept forever. And I have a couple crystals that I just bought like last year, and I just think they're beautiful. And I think holding them makes me feel connected to the earth somehow. Yeah. And that's the kind of spirituality I think I have.
Well, I think you and I both have this thing where we go, it just went out my head.
You guys, this is you seriously need to have a tally of this. My mind is being blown by how many times this happens.
You were talking about holding crystals,
connecting to the earth, and you said you and I both have this.
Holding crystals. You were like, it was the gesture of you holding the crystal. Fuck.
I don't know.
It was really good.
Well, I can keep talking about random stuff. I think for me, it's wanting to believe in something because
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. What you just said. Okay.
Yes.
It's fuck. What did you say?
Wanting to believe in something.
Fuck, it just went away. Hold on. Wanting to believe in something. Well, it's like, okay, hold on. Just give me a fucking moment.
She's working it out. Let her work it out.
What did you say again?
It's we want to believe in something. It's wanting to find something. It's the thing
of how, like, okay, holding this, if someone tells me if you hold this fucking crystal and you like believe and you think it will manifest, even if it's gobbledygook, the idea that you could think that and
you
believe
have that kind of power,
you have like the ability to just, that's worth everything to me.
Yeah.
It's like someone giving you a sugar pill and being like,
this is gonna give
you, this is gonna give you. But as long as I believe it, I love it. I think that is a very powerful thing to have someone to believe in something that much that even if it's fucking hogwash, it is real to you. Yeah. And you can believe in it. And that is what I was fucking trying to say.
Yes, she got it, guys. Let's have a round of applause.
Woo!
Yeah.
I think it was all that butter.
I'm going to lose some listeners here now. I have a problem with religion because it holds people down. People use it incorrectly to me. So the thing is, I am all gung-ho about people believing in something. Like, that to me is beautiful. And whatever I think it's important for people to believe in something, whether it be themselves. For me, it's like, I believe in my soul and my humanity. Yeah. And I believe in humankind, like just in general. And I believe in the earth and I believe in energy, but I don't believe in like this mystical, like God figure or whatever. But if that's what you need to believe in to get you through life and to give you answers and to give you comfort, I think it's all about finding comfort. And I think that word in that diagram, that Venn diagram, was so important. I think that's amazing. But the problem to me with religion, because we said it's more of a strict sort of, these are the rules, black and white. But then people, because things aren't black and white. So the thing is, people interpret them and then they use them to hold people down, to hurt people, to judge, exactly. So for me, spirituality is the beautiful side of this coin, where it's all about self-discovery and love and like being kind, like kindness, I think is a big part of that.
Well, and it's just like, I truly, there are very little things that are black and white in life to me. That's my opinion. And that's the cool thing about being alive and being human, is you get to have those feelings. But I've just felt like religion is just such a one-track thing when life is all over the place. And it's really hard. And there's so much, people judging and like hypocrisy and like, it's crazy. So
like we said today, you and I were talking about how like Scientology is no crazier than Christianity or Judaism or any of it, because it's all just stories. It's based on an idea that somebody had, that they wrote it down, whatever. And like it seems crazy. Like it all can seem crazy to somebody or to someone else. It's perfectly sane. So it's like, if it's something that helps you and gives you comfort and brings kindness and light into your life, then more power to you. Yeah. But if the problem becomes when you use it to judge and use it to create laws and rules and things on other that are, forced upon other people, that's when it's fucked up.
Oh yeah. When it's put on, when it is changed when it is put on other people's lives and controlling them because you believe that, that's crazy. Yeah. I'll say it. That's fucking
it's straight up crazy.
Like, but you know what I did do? I used to go to church. I went to church, for a long time with my family.
Did you believe in it when you were a kid, or did you just
go
because you had to go?
You just go because your mom makes you, and then you got to go to Sunday school. I did love Sunday school though, because they gave us Jesus food, which is like
the wafers.
Triscuits. Triscuits. You would get like golden raisins. Ugh. Some grape juice, blah, blah. Like the blood, Christ,
which is also
whatever.
What the
insane.
Fuck? See, if you think, if people think Scientology is crazy, you drinking fucking the blood of another person, like that's what you're. That's just
and it was
fucking
so
exciting
crazy to like walk up to the front and the little cup and you drink it. And it was like ooh, and it'd be like wine. And it was so saucy, and
so
then
weird.
You get the little wafer, I went to church, and when you're young, you don't know what the fuck it means, and you're just like, I'll go, and then you're pissed because you got to wear this like frilly dress, like I always got, and then. But like, and my family are still like parts of like my dad's side and my grandparents are still very religious, and that's their thing. But it starts getting awkward when you don't know how to like, how do you respond back?
Well, when it becomes all encompassing, when a thing about religion too, I think, is that people get so over the top with it, where it becomes the only thing that rules their world. And then you're like, how do I talk to you when you're just saying, God bless me all the time?
Yeah. When someone's like, you just need Christ in your life. I'm like, I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a difference of lifestyle and like choices and beliefs. But
well, I think with kids, like, you need to give them a choice. Yeah. Like, be like, okay, this is, and of course, kids are going to be like, fuck no, I ain't going to church.
I got to get up early on Sundays. Shit.
Yeah. I think, like, I don't know.
The only thing cool about that, though, is we'd go to, like, Shoney's afterwards. And be like, like, buffet after, like, church.
I do think it's the idea, though, of gathering together with like-minded individuals and sort of, and getting, like, in some like your nice Sunday best.
Does it sound like a cult a little bit though?
Yeah, see, like that's what I'm saying. There's no difference, you guys. So quit judging each other's religions and cults and whatnot, because it's all fucking bad shit.
Yeah, it's all the same too.
But there's something that's just sounds nice about like gathering in a room and talking about things that you believe in, or and it's all positive, like positivity, and like that sounds nice when you're just like having a community,
Well, maybe I feel like our podcast is kind of like our church.
Hey, there
we
you
come
go.
together, we talk about things. Whenever we get together with our lady friends, I feel like we're a coven, and that's our church. Is ladies get together and we talk about life, and like
we get real deep with it.
We get real deep. We cry sometimes. We laugh. We get and I feel like that's all the spirituality. That's my church.
Connecting with other people, and what I think too. For me, definitely, my spirituality comes from like being outside, like we said about nature. Like when I'm outside, I feel connected.
I'm gonna need you to read the definition again, please.
Okay.
The second one.
The one that we like. Yeah. Relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul, as opposed to material or physical things.
So something that affects my soul.
How
is
you feel
spiritual.
Inside. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's about, I wanted to, there's some other things I want to talk to you about. But for me, definitely being outside, I think honestly, like, okay, I know that we've talked about this summer so many times now since, you know, everything happened with Sam.
Yeah.
But I have to do it again because for me, I think that's as close to spirituality as I've ever been, is because I was talking about this the other day with Sam. So much of his recovery, I truly believe, and this is such a strange thing because I've written it down. I do not know what miracles are, but I know what they feel like, because it was all about us being there and believing. And as a family and as a community rallied around him, I truly believe it's like medically there was no reason for him to survive.
Yeah.
And
so then the only thing you can really hold on to then is the idea that like it was the energy.
It was his soul
and like
and
his
our
soul
souls.
and y'all souls, like the energy pushing him. Like, I mean, because when there's no medical reason, it's like, then what is it?
We were communicating somehow, and you know, and how the whole idea of Interstellar, the movie, and that love is an actual like quantifiable force, and it's like an energy, and it's more than just this abstract thing. I truly believe that because you know, having seen that, there's no reason for him to be here except this utter belief that there was no way he could go, and that it's like I just truly believe it, that it was a miracle. And to me, that doesn't mean like God stepped in and this and that, but that might be what someone sees it as. Great.
See it
but for me, when I say miracle, I just mean there's something beyond what we understand. There's something about people's souls connecting, and I mean, you can't deny that like your soul is a thing. It has to be. Because what makes us who we are, other than like the genetics and these things, but there are certain differences.
Yeah, because all we are is bones and skin.
But think about the fact that your brain is thinking. You have thoughts constantly throughout the day.
Yeah.
You're always just in your head, in your head, in your head. Why? Who gave you? How do those thoughts come about? What does that happen? How does your specific
All right, we are getting so... this is like going so far over my head. I'm starting to get so confused. I'm like, wait.
Are we high again right now?
Because it's like...
It's truly like, what to you? Let me just ask you this then. What is your soul? What do you feel is your soul?
I don't want to say my personality because that's way too like
simplified of an answer.
Yeah, it's like but
but that's essentially
essence.
when it boils down
or
to
like
it.
my zhuzh or my like juju inside, and like the things that how I feel about things, how I react, that's my soul. It's how I feel, like things that affect, I don't know. It's God, that's a really complicated question.
Well, you know, because when Sam came out of his coma, he didn't come out of it the way that you see in the movies where it's like he's awake. You know what I mean? It was like he opened his eyes and it wasn't him. Yeah. It was this they were yellowed. He looked different. I mean, you talked to you. Yeah, you know, we had video chatting when he was like that because he was responding. He was nodding. He was shaking his head. So he was there, but it wasn't him. And I truly believe that, you know, over the course of time, when he finally was able to get the breathing tube out and whatever, there was just this switch of like, oh, there he is. Like he's back. Like there's an essence when somebody dies too. It's like you see them lying there if there's like an open casket or something, and it's like that is not that person anymore. Yeah. That is the body. Yeah. It looks completely different. It's
really strange that you bring that. Yeah, because when my pop died, I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going to look at him, to see him. Because one, I was like, I don't want to see him like that, or like I don't want to remember him like that. Yeah. And I was so scared. I was like, ah. And then when I did, and I don't know if this may not be the case for everyone, but for me, when I did go up, and it was just like, oh, okay, there's his body. Yeah, it's there, but I didn't get sad. I was just I literally even like tapped on the casket and was like, hey, Pop. I'll see you, Pop. Yeah. See you around, you know, because it was like, it was the shell. It was his vessel. But I was like, it did make me sad because I knew that his soul, I don't know, like his soul wasn't sitting
suffering.
In this like
there was no suffering
box.
You saw.
Yeah, like this cold, trapped box. I knew that wasn't we just got, woo. Whew, no, but that got me like a little like teary eyed too, but like not in a sad way. But it was just like, that was such a I was so scared, and like the
Yeah.
thought of having to see him like that, but it really didn't affect me because I was like, oh, that's just how he got here. That's the thing that he got here in. But otherwise, he's like out there wherever you go, and you know, so
that to me still, my brain, I cannot wrap my brain around. Like, I don't have an idea of where we go when we die.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I have literally, if someone asks me that question, I don't know. I don't have any clue. I don't really care, honestly. It's like, I don't believe in a heaven. I don't believe in, or hell. I don't believe in that kind of thing. I feel like at most our energies is transferred
That's
somewhere.
all I have. That's all I think it is.
It's just transferred.
It's just transferred into something
But
else.
what blows my mind, what I can't wrap my brain around is that we stop thinking. But it's like when I was put under anesthesia, I wasn't thinking shit.
Yeah.
That time went away. When Sam was in his coma, went away. Time was gone, and we were not there. So it's like, if I die, I just die. Like, what's to be scared?
I feel like there's something involved with time.
Whew.
And like there's a weird like time lapse continuum thing where that's where it goes.
Dude,
and
because
it
you can come right back. Because
yeah.
you can come back. You can be there. You can be wherever.
Shit.
But there's something that's so comforting in that, because what the fuck are we afraid of?
Yeah.
Because once you're out, you're out.
I mean,
it's
I'm
like,
pretty afraid
I don't know.
though. It feels very weird to think. I was just talking to so there's an app that tells you you're going to die.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Of course there is.
Sean, his boyfriend has it. It reminds you, Joe, my coworker, his boyfriend has it. And it reminds you like up to 3 times a day that you're going to die. And not in a morbid, like it's like reminding
motivational, like live your life.
It's more,
damn it.
yeah. And that's what he said it happens is that, and they send you a quote when they tell you like, you're going to die. And then they send you this quote that you read and you're like, oh shit. So then it does, instead of being like, the opposite, being like, I'm gonna live my life to the fullest and just be like, I'm never gonna I don't know, but like the fact that someone tells you like you are gonna die, but here's a quote about it, and then it's gonna be, maybe that'll motivate you to live your life. That seems weird.
Well, like last night I got a massage and I was sitting outside in the lobby, and I felt like buying these there were all this, this new age shit on the table, and I was like, oh, I want to buy this book on crystals. I want to buy this book on life quotes. I want to buy these there's something about like tarot cards and inspirational cards and those things that where you just like pick at random something and it tells you something. It just gives you comfort.
That goes back to my point earlier about you pull that card out. It's totally fucking random, and you can take from it whatever you want, and you can hold on to that. And that to me is spiritual.
Yeah.
Why can I not say it? Spirituality.
Got it. Nailed it.
That's what it is to me.
I have got to read you this thing because I thought this is more going to delve into like really what it is. It's super simple. It makes it simple. And guys, it's from the University of Minnesota, which just happened to be where I used to go to school.
Oh shit.
But I thought that was funny. But it was very interesting. So it's a broad concept with room for many perspectives. In general, it includes a sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves, which we've been saying.
Yeah.
And it typically involves a search for meaning in life. As such, it is a universal human experience, something that touches us all. People may describe a spiritual experience as sacred or transcendent or simply a deep sense of aliveness and interconnectedness. And then just as well, some may find that their spiritual life is intricately linked to their association with a church, temple, mosque, or synagogue. So, but this is for many, spirituality is connected to large questions about life and identity. So these are like the spiritual questions that we should ask ourselves.
Oh boy. Okay.
Number 1, am I a good person? That's like the number 1. Like that's how you need to get to yourself, the root of yourself. Am I a good person?
Oh Jesus.
2, what is the meaning of my suffering? So when you're going through something terrible, why is this happening? Like, what am I supposed to get from this? Essentially, like, what does this give
I feel
to
like
me?
I don't ever ask myself that. I feel like that's something I could work. I don't ever think about like, I just think of how shitty it is, and then I'm like, fuck this, and like nothing. But I never take something away from it, and I feel like I could do that more.
Yeah, like what is it trying to teach you?
Yeah.
Number 3, what is my connection to the world around me? Which I think is very important, and that's something that we all need to be doing, is finding like, how can I be of service to the world, or like how am I connected to this and this and this and this and this, like, and I think You know, especially like
We need to work on that
I
shit.
am the most impatient person. And when I am in a car in traffic, like when I'm out, the madness comes out of me. And I think that's a point where I need to kind of connect somehow and realize like I'm connected to these people. We're all shitting this together.
And totally.
You know what I mean? But like we get so wrapped up.
Because otherwise we have to do that more, because otherwise you're like, what is the fucking point?
Because
and like,
it becomes
why do
you
I
against
hate
the world.
everybody?
Yeah, it's just you against everyone else, and like that's pointless. I mean,
recently I think all the time, like, I really hate people. Like a lot. Like I think, what were we watching? Oh fuck. We were watching something where I was like, this British TV show about, I don't know how Cole gets on some of these things. It's a show about landlords who come back to their apartments after renting it out to like people who've ended up squatting, or they come back and they haven't paid 3 months rent. So they go to check on the house. It's been emptied. They stole the dishwasher. They stole and I was watching. I'm like, why do people do fucking this? Insane. The thought that someone could be like, you know what? I'm renting this place. Fuck this. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to trash this motherfucking place, and I don't give a fuck. And I watched that. I'm like, I really.
Well, it's the same thing with landlords or slumlords who fucking treat everyone like shit, who doesn't fix it. Well, the thing, okay.
It's just people.
I think this is the big piece of spirituality and religion and whatever that makes it essential and necessary, because it's like, how do you
mean, do we have to hate people in order to like?
No, I think that's what makes spirituality essential, and what makes religion essential is that so much of the world doesn't make sense, and it's just fucked, and it's just shit. And I think it's so hard to feel connected. It's so hard to feel positive. And I think in order to be super strong and move past that, you have to find this like other sense of like, I'm on another plane. It's like,
then what is the point?
Because when
honestly,
I say,
because like, why do we have to do that? Why is that not just inherently a thing?
Dude, when I say that I believe in people, and it's like, that's a terrible thing to believe in, because they let me down all the fucking time. But it's like if you believe in something, it's almost like you blindly believe in it. Like if we choose to think that there's this energy, this goodness, this whatever, but then things are constantly telling us otherwise, it's like you have to, the point is then, it's like if you're thrown all this nasty shit and you're like, what? I thought this was, I'm putting out the good energy or whatever. Then that's when you need to take that second and go, what is the purpose of my suffering? Yeah. Like, this is here for a reason. Like, instead of being like, I'm not getting what I believe in. This isn't what I believe in. It's like, just because you think, you deserve $1 million doesn't mean you're going to get it immediately. It's like something may happen that's so shitty. Yeah. And it's going to teach you something that leads you to another thing that leads you to that thing.
It's just like, sometimes, though, it feels like a lot of suffering. And you're just like,
yeah. But that's testing your belief, dude. That's testing your belief, right? Because, like.
So then what? Am I just supposed to just, like. Can I just, like, not believe and just be like, well, I guess this is life?
Yeah, you
sometimes
can.
I feel like that.
Yes, absolutely. And I think the whole idea of believing in something is to give you hope. Because like you said, the idea that you could possibly manifest something good. And then when you do manifest something good, don't you feel extra like, oh my God, like you get that extra sense of strength and belief. And then,
I swear I'm not this negative. I just am trying to see the
opposite. Well, we got to talk about it
in it, because it's like,
well, but then the next 12 times you try to manifest, it might not work. Yeah. But then the time it don't you feel like that says that you are a positive person though? Because then you, in your mind, you know that you've believed that whole time.
Yeah, for the most part, I'm a pretty positive person, and I do believe that like what you put out is what you get back. So in order to like we've been working our asses off for so long, and it's like that I have to believe that will pay off one day.
It's hard though, because I do believe that too, that what you put out there is what you get as well. But then there's so then when things go badly for me a lot, I'm like, what the fuck did I do to deserve it? Yeah. Then it becomes that a question of why me, which is a terrible fucking trap.
I know, that's a tough one.
And I think also I think the most important thing to remember is like, you don't deserve anything. Like why do I just think that I deserve everything? I don't. Like, whatever I get is just a fucking blessing. Whatever it is,
Totally.
I'm fucking alive. So like, why do I think that I'm owed something? You know what I mean?
Well, and I feel like that's the problem with everybody today too. Everybody thinks that they're owed something or that they deserve. We live in this age where like most people are like, you know, like fucking kids these days. I feel like that's where we're getting. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just born believing that we all deserve to be
like
the happiest in the world and get exactly what we want.
So then they have a really hard time understanding why things aren't going well.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well, the last two things, I mean, that brings me to the last two spiritual questions is, do things happen for a reason? That's the question we ask ourselves. And over the years, that's a hard one for me because I go back and forth. I have had so many experiences where, you know, once time has passed, I can look back and go, oh my God, that happened for a reason.
Yeah.
And
in the moment, it never
it never
like
feels
it.
like
You're
that.
like, no, I don't think so.
It never does. But that's why I think you asked that question. Like, again, always goes back to like, what's the purpose of my suffering? What is the purpose of this? Because then in the moment, easier you're able to see like, maybe there is a reason for this. You know what I mean?
Or is everything random?
Well, I don't think, let me say this. I do not think that there is some fucking like huge map of how everything will go no matter what. And no matter what you do, you can't change that.
Yeah.
Like it is all planned out. Cause it's like, what's the fucking fun in that? What's the point in that? If literally everything's planned out, I can fucking sit on my couch and do nothing. And then whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
But I do think that when you put yourself out there, however that may be, you are attracting certain things. And I think it's just like, that was supposed to happen. I don't know what, when I say that, it sounds fucking crazy too.
But it could also be, but why can't it be random? Why can't every single thing be random? And it just happened to happen. Like, isn't that what Interstellar kind of doesn't, or do I not remember that movie correctly? I thought that there was like a point to that being like, everything is random and like, but then love is the one. I don't fucking know. I'm like making this movie up. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes that it's chaos. Just random. It's chaos.
Otherwise, it's chaos.
But isn't it sometimes? Like I feel like it's all random. Like, is it really a coincidence that I just happen to every move I make was based on the move before it?
No, no. Here's what I think. If this makes sense. This is the wheels are turning in my brain now. I don't think that everything is planned out or meant to be. I think that once one random thing happens and how you decide to react to that, that puts in motion something else. Yeah, that happened because you did that. So it's like a reaction. I think everything is a reaction to something. It all starts
from the moment we are born.
Random.
We are randomly born and then that step.
And then the things you choose from there are meant to happen because of what you just did. Yeah. Because of what randomly just happened. And then there's something. And then maybe one other random thing comes about. And then something happens because of that. I think that everything is a set of reaction. Like it's a chain reaction. And I think that's kind of cool though, because that gives you power to like, you got to know that you have a fucking choice. Yeah. To make things better. Because the last question is, how can I live my life in the best way possible? Those are the things that make you, that connect you to your spirituality, is trying to find deep down like what you're about, how you're connected to everything else. What does it mean?
But should we be asking those of ourselves? Like asking those questions? That seems very like, but I guess you have to be kind of in tune with yourself in order to understand the world.
Otherwise, how is that what it means? Spirituality is with yourself. It's not, I mean, it's a connection to yourself first and foremost.
Before it is with
and then
anything
it's like,
else.
because then it's like that bleeding into the kindness towards the earth and towards other people and animals. And
I guess I got a lot of self-reflection to do,
dude. I don't do it enough. Like, so I think a big thing for people, and my brother included, in spirituality is like mindfulness and meditation, and I cannot fucking do it for the life of me. I have tried. I mean, I guess I haven't tried. I have not. I haven't tried as much as I could. I have meditation apps, and I sit down and I try to do it, but I have my body is so hardwired to just be like, that in order for, like, I've tried to do it a couple weeks where I just sit down. The first thing I do when I get up is try to do 5 or 10 minutes of just sitting still. But one, I can't close my eyes. And two, like, I can't sit still. So for me, I have to lie down, like on my back on the floor and like look up at the ceiling. And that's when I can sort of do it a little bit better. But I think that's something
but
I
think
really want to
that's just
practice.
with practice. Yeah, because I mean, I'm not, you know, I get uncomfortable. I get like, antsy. I mean, I can relax. I can meditate if I do really well with guided meditation because I'm then able to release a little bit more as opposed to like letting my own mind like try to help me because that does not work.
Because they always tell you like what you if something comes into your head, you're supposed to like try to let it go. Yeah. And then come back to it, but it's okay.
Yeah,
like,
I definitely would love I would love to do that more because then I just feel like there's like an understanding of like, about it. That you get into it.
There's like a universal thing that says like that can like what is the thing? The big thing is transcendental meditation. Yeah. And
Emily Blunt does it.
And so does like Katy Perry and like, you know, all these people that look alike.
I'm just like, but like, and Jerry Seinfeld does it too. Yeah. But it just, I looked into it. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I don't know.
For me, that's something that I actually wrote down I started to write down my list of resolutions and goals, and I have like a 5-step thing every year. And under my health, I have mindfulness and meditation, I think, because that's something that I want to work on because it's helped my brother immensely. And I think, and I do believe in it because it's connecting to yourself. And that's one thing that I think is really, really real.
Yeah, it's something we don't though. I mean, we just need to find ways to like rest our mind. It's like you almost have to like rest your mind and body first and learn how to do that and then slip into. I also wouldn't I listen to podcasts that talk about psychedelics that have really helped with
getting into those mushrooms.
Yeah, getting into that. I mean, there's like more controlled kind of things that you can get into that people are, you know, I would love to tap into like another.
God, I can imagine you on something like that.
It would get real crazy. But I don't know. I definitely could work on meditation. I need to work on asking the questions of myself, looking into like taking the time. Because my life is so like all the time, like to actually sit and be like, what did that do to me today? Or what happened today? Why did it happen? What does it mean? So like, much I don't think about that enough. Yeah. I just go from the one thing to the next.
It's surfacey. Like, a lot of the days are surfacey. Yes. And it's about, and I think, you know, being spiritual is about going within and taking a second to slow the fuck down.
Ooh, I could go within. I need to go within.
I think it's safe to say that we both are spiritual in our own way. And I think, you know, as we get older, it gets deeper. And I think, but it's hard. I don't think we're the type of people that are just like, we haven't reached that point where we are zen and where we're just like so comfortable. No. But I will tell you the moments in my life where I have felt the most at peace and the most calm have been after the most horrible things that have happened to me, which is strange because you would think that it would be in the times where you're the happiest.
I feel like it's coming down from something or like it's coming off the cliff.
You know what
it is?
You know,
and you're like floating and coming back down.
It's like everything that doesn't matter goes away. Yeah. Because the one thing that does is so present and clear that you just sort of sink into that. And I think to me that like when my grandfather died a few years back afterwards, I felt so weirdly at peace or sort of slowed down. And I felt like connected to myself for the next like 3 weeks because I was home with family and I was sitting there and I had reflected upon like what he and my grandmother had built, this family of people, and we all existed because of them. And I went into this whole thing just like, wow, how incredible is that? And like, what a great life. And what this family that all loves each other is here because of their love. And so that to me just put me in this place of like, wow. And it's the same. And then when Sam was sick and it was just, all I had was my family there. And there would be a quiet time where we had already cried everything out. Everything was just done. We didn't need to say anything. And we just sat there and it was like, we went for a drive and I just remember feeling like, wow, like this is beautiful. Like I just felt like it can't, you know, there's something about when all the superfluous details go away, like what sweater she's wearing and what event we have next week and you know when I have to pay my car insurance and when all that stuff just goes away, there's sort of like and I wish that's what I think meditation should do for us.
It's about releasing all of that stuff because otherwise then you start thinking about like then what is life then if that's all it is all those things adding up day to day. And that's why I feel like I could like my goal too is to enjoy more things because you know, Cole brought it up to me. He's like, yeah, you're like working and making a lot more money, but he's like, no, but what's the point?
Yeah.
Because then if I'm working all the time, how are you enjoying anything? So that's definitely something I'm going to work on.
That's why we need that road trip in January.
Yeah, we're going to go on a road trip. And I just,
it's about taking more, it's about taking more time for yourself. And I think, you know, so I don't have to have a fucking tragedy every couple years so I can feel connected. I need to work on it every day in that sort of way. I feel like I try to hold on to it so tight and it slips away when regular life kind of creeps back in. And it's like, how do I hold on to that? And I think spirituality is something that will bring that to me. If I can get deeper into that, you know, and every day just kind of find that calm, that space.
Yeah. Even if it's taking 5 minutes out of your day to connect with yourself, I need to work on that. Usually it's
dude, resolutions, New Year. We're both all about like fresh starts.
I do love a fresh start, but I'm also working on trying not to put too much pressure on it.
I love plans though.
I do love plans too. Like, I love a list. And I love plans, but I do let myself down a lot, which is something I'm working on, like in therapy.
Well, you need to be more forgiving of yourself. I think.
Yeah, it's like because then when I fucking fail, I'm like, well, great. You
Don't
know?
look at it as a failure. Yeah. You can't.
What did I learn from it?
Exactly.
Oh, that's exhausting. We're back. Thank you guys so much for listening to us.
Be kind to yourselves, you guys. Be kind
to yourself. Take a moment. Connect.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you. We are sending love and energy out to you. But you need to come back.
You need to come. You definitely need to come
Hopefully
back.
my energy that I'm giving out right now is also then bouncing back off of you and coming back to me. Woo! So that's what I'm putting out there.
Sounds good.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
Guys, we love you.
There you go,
You're
Mom.
amazing. And bye.
Bye-bye.